is Gray. I'm the dietitian and health coach with MLK Health Center and Pharmacy. So a friend of mine the other day was sort of bragging about how much coffee she has every day. Just morning, noon, and night, she's pounding coffee. So I decided to do a video about caffeine intake and, what's helpful and what's hurtful. So in terms of caffeine limits, I guess, the FDA, or the Food and Drug Administration, recommends that we limit our caffeine intake to no more than 400 milligrams a day. So to put that in perspective, an 8-ounce cup of coffee has between 100 to 200 milligrams, depending on who makes it. So that would be anywhere from 2 to 4 cups of coffee to meet that limit. A soda, by comparison, maybe has around 45 milligrams of caffeine. Energy drinks, depending on the brand, is going to have anywhere from 100 to 300 milligrams of caffeine. So you could be pretty close to that limit with one of those. And for things like tea, caffeinated tea, not herbal teas, that's going to have about 50 milligrams for a cup. So those are some of the main sources of caffeine. And there's some good research to support the benefits. It's shown that caffeine intake can increase our alertness. It can potentially be an aid in weight loss. It can help with our memory, our brain function. It could be potentially helpful in preventing Alzheimer's. If you're an athlete, caffeine can actually be a performance enhancer. So if you do, bike races, triathlons, marathons, anything like that, caffeine can be beneficial potentially. However, I think we maybe don't talk about some of the negative aspects of caffeine quite as much as we talk about the positives. And I think that's something to keep in mind, because even though there are some documented benefits, it's just not going to agree with everybody, myself included. So some of the downsides of caffeine are increased anxiety and depression. I know this was very true for me. I was having coffee every morning and just could not figure out why I was so anxious. And once I stopped and switched to decaf, I felt a lot better. So if you're prone to anxiety, maybe laying off the caffeine could be helpful for you. Something else is that it can make it hard to go to sleep. It can cause insomnia, especially if you're having it past maybe 12 noon or 1 o'clock. Caffeine has an 8-hour half-life, so it's going to stay in the system for a long period of time. And if you're sensitive to that, it can make it hard for you to fall asleep. Another issue is that caffeine is a diuretic. That means it makes us lose water. It's 800 degrees outside right now. We are in the middle of July in Louisiana. It is hot, and I'm already talking to lots of people who are saying they're having headaches, just general fatigue, and I think a lot of that has to do with dehydration. And so if you add a lot of caffeine on top of that, it's going to make it hard to maintain the amount of water that we need to feel okay. Another concern is that it can raise blood pressure. So if your blood pressure is already on the high side, then consuming a lot of caffeine is probably not going to help. A final issue is that caffeine can upset the stomach and cause just general GI issues. It could be everything from diarrhea to heartburn to just sort of an upset stomach feeling. So something to keep in mind, like a lot of things in nutrition, there are going to be some pros and cons, and it just depends on the person. I know, some people, they do really well with that 1 cup every morning. They keep it in kind of reined in. They're not drinking it all day. It gives them kind of that just pep up that they need in the morning. For me personally, I have to avoid caffeine unless it's in really small doses or I feel really jittery. So just listen to your body. Just because caffeine and coffee is kind of the normal thing to do anymore in the morning doesn't mean that it's going to be right for you. So I hope this was helpful. If you are interested in more nutrition or wellness videos, please check out our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.